So many of you are wondering, how do I navigate through this current high rate situation that we're in? Rates have basically doubled from June to June of this year and then went up more over that. We've seen the rates increase much faster than any time in history, and I was in the mortgage business for 7 years before I became an agent. So let's talk about some things to help mitigate this for both buyers and sellers. So let's go down the loan route first. So I have 3 different scenarios that 3 different lenders have spoken to me about. Here's one idea. Say that you have enough cash to put down 20%. Now, just so you know, the less you put down, many times the better your rate is right now, because the lenders are getting PMI that gives them some breathing room in case something happens. But this particular situation was put down 5%. And then what you can do over the next 6 payments after closing and funding, you can pay that down to the 80% loan to value. And then on the 7th payment, reach out to your lender, ask them, can you recast the note for me? Which means you're going to be paying the next 29.5 years based on the reduced loan amount, and ask them for a PMI removal. Now, it is their option, federal law, and I'm not an attorney, but I know about the mortgage business, so at 78%, it automatically goes away on a conventional loan only. Doesn't apply to FHA or any other government loan, but FHA would be the only other one with PMI other than conventional. So that right there is one option. And if you do request PMI removal, there may be a real estate broker like me that comes out for a third party that does property inspection. Make sure that you have your homestead in place. And I've done a video about that if you have questions. Another scenario from another lender I know has talked about a 2-1 buy down. And what that means to you is the first 2 years, the rate you're going to pay is less than the remaining 3rd year to the 30th. The first year, the rate's 2 points under the actual rate. The next year, it's 1 point under. And also, as an option, this particular lender has a 3-year refinance for free should rates fall enough in 3 years for your refinance. And it's possible. It's not going to happen in the next year because we know the Fed is still increasing rates. Rumor is another 150 basis points, or basically 1.5% more in interest rates. And there maybe you get the seller to offer assistance in this market. That's a possibility. We'll talk about it more. And then I know of another lender that's a nationally chartered federal credit union, and they have a 10-year rate, or a 10-year ARM, unlike anyone else's. I can't go into what the rates are other than to say they're about 200 basis points or 2 full percentage less than most 30-year fixed rates. So that's another option. Another thing is most of the time you're getting homes under list. There's less likely you're going to run into multiple offers. It's not impossible, because I've seen that with some buyers that I had come down recently from out of the country. So there are situations where that's still occurring. But you can ask the seller for concessions, and here's what I mean. Instead of reducing the price, you could say, hey, Mr. Seller, I'd like you to pay 2 points to buy my rate down. What that means, if your purchase price is $300,000, hey, I'd like $6,000 to go towards my closing cost, buy my rate down, whatever. Maybe ask them for some credit to make some repairs, and that gets applied to you. Now, there are limits on how much you can do. I'll let you speak to the lender about that. And also, sellers, you could offer, when you put the property on the market, seller willing to pay X dollars towards buyer's closing cost, or to buy rate down. So that's one way to help move your property, because most homes are sitting on the market 30 to 45 days. It's not the end of the world. The other thing, as a buyer, You need to know you're not having to waive appraisal like you were prior to May of this year. For the last 2 years, you're not having to waive the inspection period. So you're able to negotiate repairs in most cases. So that right there is one way that both buyers and sellers can navigate this higher rate environment that we're in. And sellers, just know, if you take care of issues before a buyer comes out, maybe you get your agent to refer an inspector to you, get out and make all those repairs. That way you're not hit at the last minute. Because what you need to know as a seller, say that you need electrical work, instead of having your handyman do it prior to going on the market and going under contract, then you would have to have a licensed electrician make repairs after contract. So just some ideas. If you have any questions about your area, just general questions, feel free to reach out to me. Hope you're having a great day, enjoying the weather. We'll see you later.